Hi, this is Simon and welcome to another marvelous video. So, welcome to this video about Shirelle, better known as the Utrom Shredder, one of the most iconic characters from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise. Shirelle is a complicated and intriguing character that has won many TMNT fans' hearts throughout the years. He is a Utrom, a race of intelligent aliens that crash-landed on our planet and assumed the form of humanoids. Shirelle, though, is not satisfied with cohabiting with humans. He is a vicious and crafty warrior who aspires to conquer and master them. The bond between Shirelle and the Ninja Turtles is one of the most intriguing facets of his character. He has battled with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on countless occasions as the Shredder, but as Utrom, he also established partnerships with them. This paradox distinguishes him as a distinct and captivating evil who defies categorization. In this video, we'll go through Shirelle's origin, motives, and character development, as well as look at a few of his most famous TMNT moments. Prepare to be surprised by the various dimensions of this mysterious and memorable figure. But before we go into our explanation, we do have a very small request. If you like our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thanks, and let's begin.
Ninja Turtle. The harder path always seems to choose you.
Shirelle, aka Utrom Shredder Origins. Meet Shirelle, one of the most recognizable and complicated adversaries in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles world. Shirelle is a legendary, murderous cosmic tyrant who has used a variety of names to avoid prosecution. Duke Akureds, Keiko Naso, Oraki Saki, Torinon, and the Utrom Shredder are all aliases that this villain has used. What distinguishes Shirelle is the fact that he's not actually human, but rather a malevolent Utrom who disguises himself in a humanoid exosuit. With a purple wound over one of his eyes and 3 horn-like appendages on his head, his blood-red look distinguishes him from other Utroms. He has a long and tangled association with Splinter and the Turtles, and he served as the major adversary throughout the first 3 seasons of the 2003 television series and the movie Turtles Forever. Shirelle's cunning and ruthlessness are on display throughout the series as he attempts to conquer and rule everyone around him. His history with the Turtles is especially interesting since he has battled with them as well as established partnerships with them. Shirelle's complexities and unforgettable actions end up making him a fan-favorite nemesis who is difficult to brush under the rug. Shirelle, a member of the sophisticated Utrom species, became influenced by his position of power and turned into a brutal tyrant in a far-off galaxy. He waged battles and wreaked havoc on several worlds, earning him the title of the Utrom's most heinous criminal. The Utroms had successfully caught Shirelle and were taking him back to his home planet for trial after 100 years of hunting for him. Shirelle, however, managed to escape and destroy the ship, leading it to crash on Earth in the Japanese feudal era. Shirelle fled into the Japanese forest, while the surviving Utroms used their skills to blend in among the humans. Shirelle was able to acquire an exoskeleton model and practice martial arts, eventually taking on the character of the Shredder, an old warrior legend. While seeking to conquer the globe, Shirelle assembled the Foot Clan, a gang of faithful ninjas, and swore vengeance on the Utroms. The Utroms, on the other hand, established a secret organization of guardians to safeguard themselves and also the innocent from Shirelle's fury. Shirelle gave humanity the task of forging the Sword of Tengu, which he eventually lost in battle. Shirelle learned of the Utrom's Japanese stronghold via a renegade guardian called Yukio Mashimi years later. Shirelle used his foot ninjas to attack the base, but he was caught off guard by the escaped pods. The Utroms escaped just as Shirelle's men were about to seize them. Shirelle later learned of the Utrom's presence in New York City and assumed the identity of Oroku Saki, a powerful, wealthy businessman covertly controlling a sizable criminal enterprise with the Foot Clan. He also developed relationships with the underbelly of New York, such as the Purple Dragons and the leader, Hun. Shirelle discovered an orphaned human girl named Karai and raised her as his own, training her in a number of martial arts and authority. Karai was the one and only person other than the Utroms who had any knowledge about Shirelle at first. Shirelle searched for the Utroms throughout New York City, placing Karai in control of the Foot Clan's Japanese branch. He tracked down Hamato Yoshi, who was among Utrom's most powerful powerful guards and asked for information on where they were. Because Yoshi was unwilling to respond, Shirel killed him in front of his companion, Rat Splinter, who escaped and went on to become the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles' mentor. Shirel is noted for his megalomania, unquenchable desire for power and ruthlessness. He is motivated by a need to be the sole beneficiary of every scenario, even though others could gain just as much as he would. He is also notorious for harboring grudges against anybody who confronts or fails him, and his animosity can border on pathological. Despite his numerous flaws, Shirel adopted Karai and raised her as his very own daughter. He didn't love her, but he recognized her power and potential as valuable to him. He also seemed to like Han and had personally trained him. Shirel's desire for power and insanity may be ascribed in part to his mythical link with the legendary Shredder. He acquired the Shredder's persona and became regarded as the one and only Shredder. His human guise is comparable to that of Tengu Shredder, giving credibility to the hypothesis that the Tengu Shredder is influencing his rising lunacy and desire for dominance. Shirel also seeks to be the only one who benefits in circumstances when he stands to benefit. He has a history of changing commitments and punishing people who do not satisfy his expectations. He is vicious and will torture, murder, or maim to achieve his goals, as witnessed with Baxter Stockman. This has led to his supporters betraying him in the interest of saving themselves. While Shirel's cruelty has frequently resulted in him achieving his desired objectives, it has also resulted in him becoming alienated and lonely, with few partners or friends.
Those who are not with me are against me, and I crush.
Shirel's marvelous story arc in TMNT 2003 TV series. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles' first encounter with Shirel, the mighty villain who is known only as Shredder, dominated with a death grip in the dark recesses of New York City's underbelly. For years he had stayed in the shadows, manipulating the city's corrupt business to suit his own interests. His reign of terror, however, was endangered when a gang of 4 adolescent mutant turtles started to thwart his goals. He dismissed them at first, thinking them to be nothing more than just a slight irritation. Yet when they continued to thwart his plans, he got increasingly interested in them. Shredder developed a scheme to entice these odd creatures into his lair, wanting to understand more about them and what they stood for. He asked the turtles to talk to him, disguised as a wealthy businessman called Orokusaki, stating that they had a similar threat. The turtles, however, were not duped and swiftly learnt his real nature. Shredder proved to be a powerful opponent in the ensuing combat. Though the turtles held their own, Shredder came close to murdering them all. Only because of the fast thinking of their instructor, Splinter, were they able to shift the tide of fight. Splinter was able to momentarily incapacitate Shredder by using a water tower, leaving the turtles to flee. Splinter and the turtles fled the area, believing they had witnessed a final sighting of him. Shredder, on the other hand, did not tend to give up quickly. He persevered in his pursuit of the turtles, even following them across time gateways and then attempting to obtain possession of devastating alien technology. But the Foot Clan and Shredder were no measure for the turtles and their mentor in the very end. They were beaten and returned to their own era, defeated but ready to exact revenge on their adversaries one day. Shirel's deadly comeback. Once the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles began to interfere with his schemes, Shirel, frequently referred to as the Shredder, became a fierce and ruthless opponent. He gained a pathological loathing for them and their guru Splinter after suffering his first significant defeat against them. Shirel nevertheless delivered a devastating blow weeks later when he invaded April O'Neil's business and imprisoned them inside a walk-in refrigerator before torching the premises. April, Casey Jones, Splinter, and the Turtles fled to a farm in Northampton, but Shirel mistook them for dead after getting false confirmation from Baxter Stockman. Shirel's next meeting with the Turtles happened after the Utrom transmat sent them into space. He realized the Utroms were hidden in a building and sent Stockman in to disrupt the VR equipment the Utroms were employing to teach the Turtles their past. This confined the Turtles and forced them to confront a feudal form of Shredder and the Foot Clan. Once they returned to the real world, the Shredder and his henchmen invaded the building, hell-bent on exacting revenge revenge on the Utroms. As the Turtle and Splinter confronted the Shredder again, he discovered the Utroms' transmat that they meant to use to travel home. Shirel, on the other hand, intended to utilize the gadget to capture his home world. The Turtles assisted the Utroms in escaping via the transmat. However, the Shredder rose and battled them, starting to cause his armor to be broken apart and eventually revealing his Utrom form. He attempted to bring the Turtles down along with him, but they were able to activate the transmat and flee before the building collapsed. Even after the Turtles tried to stop him, the Shredder managed to drop an implosion time bomb, which was designed to cause the building to collapse and eliminate all of his adversaries. Shirel was thought to have died in the implosion. The surprise survival and reappearance of Shirel. After the Shredder is supposedly dead, a power struggle breaks out among the Fuck clan, but he is subsequently discovered alive and restored to his former glory by Karai. But once the Shredder regains his vitality, he promptly begins his campaign to defeat the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles once again, who are now a persistent thorn in his side. The Shredder builds powerful robots to hunt down the Turtles with the aid of Baxter Stockman and Hun. Nevertheless, the Turtles beat the Shredder, causing him to be embarrassingly defeated yet again. Following the Triceraton attack on Earth, the Shredder utilizes his wealth to help reconstruct New York City. However, this is merely a cover for salvaging Triceraton technology in order to build a large spacecraft to return to the sky in the hopes of destroying the Utrom. In addition to other planets before the Utroms come back for him, the Shredder dons a bigger, more lethal four-armed exosuit and sets out to kill off the Turtles who have sneaked on board his spacecraft. He almost finishes them all off for good, but Karahi's last-minute intervention saves him from doing so. Nevertheless, the Shredder is compelled to leave when an EPF missile launches and complicates matters, and the Turtles decide to overcharge the core as a final option. To halt the Shredder, they utilize the Fugitoid program to overwhelm the ship's core, destroying everything, including themselves. A Utrom ship approached and placed a vessel into a temporal status field, evacuating everyone before the explosion. At the same time, Dr. Chaplin, Karai, and the Shredder are taken to the brig. The Shredder is brought in front of the Utrom High Council for his crimes on the Utrom home planet in the Theta galaxy. After being found guilty of causing far too much havoc and ruin throughout the cosmos, the Ultrom High Councilors condemn him to lifelong exile on the ice rock of Morgal. The Healing Turtles and Splinter, together with the Fugitoid, watch the trial as Dr. Chaplin and Karai are also jailed.
I told you I sensed great power at work.
Shirel's other future appearances. Shirel appears at the state of a tale told by Michelangelo in one episode. Cody Jones, the Turtles' acquaintance, stores Shirel's armor and other mementos in a hall. In another installment, Cody and Okanabo inadvertently open time portholes while attempting to return the Turtles to the present day. Cody and Leonardo are teleported to the scene of Shredder's defeat by the Turtles, where they battle briefly before going back to 2105. Following them through this porthole, Shredder and his foot ninjas are quickly beaten by the sophisticated technology of the fast-forward Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Okanabo. Shirel's appearance in IDW Comics. A new threat develops in a world which the Utroms are in limbo, and Krang is no longer alive. One Utrom called Shirel is renowned as the race's fiercest warrior, having a natural inclination for violence. Considering this, a scientist called Zayton Honeycutt intends to keep Shirel in status until he can communicate with his fellow Utroms. Despite Honeycutt's reservations about Shirel's violent character, many of the other Utroms do not consider him a threat or a risk. A lot of them, in fact, spoke highly of him and were startled to find that he remained in status while they were awoken. A lot of Utroms, in fact, continue to support Krang's conquests and violent tendencies and oppose Mariel's peaceful Utrom leadership. Cleve and Montoro devise a scheme to secretly awaken Shirel, using Cleve as a placeholder in status. Cleve is able to resurrect Shirel thanks to the creation of a pact between the Triceratons and Utroms, and he soon dons an armored suit. Shirel confronts Mariel and then goes on to protect the area against a vessel full of people after she attempts to awaken him from hibernation. Shirel has a brother-sister connection with Mariel, the current head of the Utroms, yet their perspectives on how to best preserve their race differed significantly. Mariel rejected violent tactics and advocated for a more peaceful approach, while Shirel and Krang sought a path of dominance and slaughter. Despite his violent inclinations, Shirel's devotion to his Utroms and his commitment to safeguarding them will lead him down a road that would permanently alter the fate of his species. The second spectacular part of TMNT, the Armageddon game, written by Tom Waltz and drawn by Vincenzo Federici, presents Shirel in all his magnificence. This issue continues the struggle of Burnow Island between Colonel Shirel and General Krang, with Krang in his latest metalhead host and Shirel in his brand new Triceraton power armor. Shirel informs Krang that he doesn't qualify as a real leader and that his people's path to dominance on Earth is being jeopardized. Krang reacts by assuring Shirel that he was assigned to restore power to the Technodrome and enslave the human species. Cleve, however, shoots Krang, explaining that he agrees with Shirel's new and better ways of completing their objective. Shirel directs his warriors to pursue their task of destroying the Regenta and her companions and invading Earth. Mutant Town is obliterated, and Raphael gets there too late to rescue the burning cathedral. In frustration, he pounds the Earth with his fists. The fight between the mutants and the Utroms is just getting started, and the outcome is yet unknown.
I said hold.
What makes Shirel so dangerous? Shirel might not appear physically intimidating, but his cunning, speed, and strength make him a fearsome opponent. He has proven to be an accomplished warrior with martial experts, easily defeating all four turtles in direct combat. His primary weapon is his metal claws on his fingers, which he wields with fantastic skill. Shredder's grasp of Utrom's technological and scientific knowledge, in addition to his military abilities, allows him to acquire superior weaponry and equipment. He has access to a number of solid exosuits, including one based on Krang's innovation that enabled him to expand to gargantuan size and carry a multitude of built-in weaponry. Although his appearance is modest, Shirel's strategic thinking and technological expertise make him a lethal foe to anyone who crosses his line.
I don't believe we've been introduced.
Other media appearances of Shirel: TMNT Back to the Sewer. In an installment of Back to the Sewer titled Tempus Fugit, the Turtles are transported to the future by the evil Viral. In the years ahead, they confront three different variations of the Shredder: Shirel, the Utrom Shredder, a brand new Cyber Shredder, and Orokusaki, the Tengu Shredder. With their different armies of foot ninja, the three Shredders are fighting for the city's rule. The Cyber Shredder is a robotic replica of Shirel, who Viral morphs into by mistake. The Turtles finally return to their own time by using a piece of the Cyber Shredder's suit to fix a wounded robot named Serling. In flashbacks shared by both the supervillain and Leonardo, the Cyber Shredder returns, but owing to the show's discontinuation, the future plotline was never aired. Turtles Forever 2009. Shirel, also referred to as the Utrom Shredder, was resurrected by the Shredder from the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles program in the 25th anniversary special, Turtles Forever. The Utrom Shredder then seized command of the Technodrome. He updated it with Utrom science in order to build a new ultimate weapon. He also developed superior foot soldiers as a force of mutants from his ordinary troops. His quest to rule the multiverse was stopped when he discovered heroic counterparts of the Ninja Turtles in each and every realm. He made the decision to obliterate each version. He utilized the Technodrome to launch an attack on New York with his horde of sophisticated mutants and foot soldiers. The Utrom Shredder captured the 1987 and the 2003 Turtles. He then revealed his scheme to wipe out the first reality, Turtle Prime, which then would eliminate the Ninja Turtles in all dimensions. The Turtles tracked him down to Turtle Prime, wherein they connected and teamed up with their comic book counterpart to defeat the Ultron Shredder. They met him inside the Technodrome, but he enlarged his exosuit to enormous proportions and overpowered them with his new technology. Nevertheless, as a result of the inept assistance of Bebop and Rocksteady, he was driven into the Technodrome's ray, possibly killing him. However, it was prophesied that he would rise again.
Mistake following me here, rodent.
Marvelous verdict. Ultimately, Shirel is a distant and multifaceted antagonist in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles saga. For many years, he has been a cause for concern for the Turtles as a Utrom posing as Shredder. He is crafty, vicious, and hell-bent on conquering and destroying his adversaries at whatever cost. Despite his horrible crimes, Shirel is a sad man, motivated by a perverse pride in his heritage and allegiance to his species. His character journey is considered to be among the most intriguing in the TMNT universe as he progresses from a one-dimensional tyrant to a nuanced anti-hero who eventually meets a terrible end. Shirell's influence on the Turtles, as well as their friends, in addition to his continuing popularity amongst TMNT fans, lingers on. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.
We don't have 4 minutes.